Hello and welcome to another video on V Rising. SLS released a dev update where they share their thoughts on the release of Gloomrot and the release of 1.0. In this video, I'd like to take a look at that update, talk about some things that I talked to community manager Jeremy Pearson about, and what this means for the future of V Rising. So, the beginning of this dev update is about how much they appreciate us for playing the game. We know, we're great. And about some of the feedback we've given since the release of Gloomrot, but this is where the real interesting parts are. As always, we understand your curiosity about what lies ahead. We are meticulously planning and paving the way toward our future goals. But what exactly awaits us at our destination? Where are we headed and when? In the next phase of V Rising, a grand conclusion to the vampire legend awaits. It signifies the pinnacle of your journey to supremacy and marks the start of your reign as the apex predator of Verdoran. It's the end of your ascension, but the beginning of your legend. It serves as a satisfying conclusion to this chapter while leaving room for more adventures ahead. With the introduction of Secrets of Gloomrot, we've successfully added layers to the gameplay, refined progression where needed, and really made a better experience to bring players onward. We may soon reach a version of the game that we consider to be complete. However, rest assured that this does not mark the end of V Rising's development. The game has room to evolve and grow even in its finished state. And this is where I'd like to kick things over to Jeremy Pearson Fielding, community manager for V Rising. You just released Secrets of Gloomrot, and by the looks of it, it's been received very well. It was a very big update. How far from finished would you say that you think the game is now? We talked earlier about you not agreeing at all in the beginning that the game is finished. And now after Gloomrot, we see that you've done a ton of work, but yeah. How about now? How far away are you, would you say?
I guess when we say like finished, would be like what we view as like a 1.0 sort of situation, which I want to be like super clear. When we get to like finished, we still intend to keep updating the game and adding on more to it, because like V Rising is the type of game you can just keep adding stuff forever. There's like so many different avenues we can add to like keep expanding on systems, bring them closer to sort of like the vampire fantasy we're imagining. You know, there's ways to overhaul things and ways to like update things. So whatever 1.0 is not the end of everything.
That's cool.
But yeah, thank you. But yeah, I think our 1.0 would be whatever has that like ending I was talking about, which could be this upcoming next big patch that we're really getting into now. I wish I could give like a definitive answer for that, for like this update and our next planned update. We have sort of a pretty general idea of what we want to do with them, but like we're currently in sort of a planning stage where we're really nailing down exactly what we want to get in, and that could mean that this ends up being our 1.0. That would not be crazy to imagine by any stretch, but maybe it's the next one. So I would say how close the game is to finished. I mean, probably within a few years. We're definitely getting there. So basically, the idea of like the two updates that we're looking at right now is focusing on the major parts of the game that we still have left to add, which I think most people would agree are probably around like finding that definitive end for the game, and also having like a dominant like end game loop, like something after you finish the game, when you're at the end, when you're on a server with people and you've got all your stuff, what do you do then? That's like the biggest question that we get, of course, is like, I still want to keep playing, give me something to do.
In case you missed it, this was from an interview with Jeremy that I recently released. We talked about him joining SLS, the role of a community manager, the release of Early Access, Secrets of Gloomrot, and the future of V Rising. Also, if you don't have a copy of V Rising yet, or have a friend who really needs one, I'm giving away keys to the game and the Sinister DLC pack in my Discord server. Follow the link in the description to my server and head to the V-Rising giveaway channel for all the information you need. Alright, let's read the last part of the dev update and then talk about what this all means. We're aiming to make the next update V-Rising's full release, the big 1.0, and it will require a similar development timeframe as Gloomrot of around a year. But what does it mean for V-Rising to reach its full release transitioning out of early access? It involves further developing our existing systems to make them more engaging, exploring new possible features, and adding more content. It means providing a satisfying conclusion to the adventure-focused PvE side of the survival experience. We'll also enhance our initial tools to streamline our work process, which will take time. This investment will pave way for improved efficiency and a smoother workflow beyond 1.0. That means better content faster. So they might not be saying a lot in terms of details here, but what they are saying is very interesting. First of all, they plan to release 1.0 in about a year. If I had to guess, I'd say they'll try to stick to releasing in May. Not only have they done so with both Early Access and Gloomrot, but it would mean that they'd finish the game and have some time to deal with post-release stuff before July, which is vacation time in Sweden, and the studio probably won't be working at full capacity. Secondly, it's obvious that SLS have a bunch of plans for V-Rising post 1.0. They announced in a dev update a while back that they have 3 big updates planned, Gloomrot being the first, 1.0 being the second, and a third one that they haven't said anything about yet. But it wouldn't be crazy to guess that there would be some big content updates sometime in 2025. Remember how Jeremy said that the game will probably be finished in a couple of years? So while they're not planning for V-Rising to become a live service game, it's by no means a game they plan to release and then move on from straight away. Another thing that Jeremy talked about is that they know that the game lacks a clear endgame, which it sounds like they're going to focus on now, but also that there needs to be something to do after that. This isn't a game where you just want to start over. You've got all the bosses, the best gear, an awesome castle. Now what? Well, this blood key is interesting. The last sentence of the description says, "The key is proof of your supremacy. For now." Is that a reference to the third update? And what about, wouldn't a key imply a door? Could this all mean that after you've beaten the endgame of V-Rising, you'll be able to access something new? Maybe dungeons to crawl that give you awesome loot to bring back to your castle. Something that would make raiding other maxed out players more interesting. What if they have a chest full of great post-endgame dungeon loot? Maybe the blood key can grant you access to cross-server PvP. Obviously, what exactly this post 1.0 content will be is pure speculation, but it's exciting to hear that 1.0 is still planned for the next big update and that they have plans beyond that. Alright, that's all for this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.